So in our daily life, it's said that we're often not aware of just how much kindness that we depend on to make our lives comfortable and functional. And sometimes it's quite easy to take that for granted. And so on Thursday, when two of our monastics were heading out to the Sakyadhita conference, I just felt this welling up inside of me wanting to send them off with some advice. Unsolicited, of course. Although both nuns, Venerable Lamsel and Venerable Rinchen, are very capable nuns, and they're going off to do a couple of talks. One is on the value of a monastic sangha as we live it here at the Abbey. Another, Venerable Rinchen, is talking about using technology to share the Dharma. And then they're both doing a workshop, presenting a workshop of how to generate bodhicitta. And so they're very capable nuns in their own right. But I just wanted to remind them that they're standing on the shoulders of many people. They're heading off to a conference of monastics from all around the world. Mostly women, but men are also included there. But it's a beautiful conference that happens annually. And I wanted to remind them that as they go out, and they will be met with appreciation for the good reputation that the Abbey has throughout the Buddhist world. Many people will greet them with that understanding, like, oh, you're from the Abbey. And that's why I wanted to remind them that they are standing on the shoulders of so many people. I mean, to begin with, our illustrious abbess, whose scholarship and practice is well documented in many of the books that she's written. And so that's a big portion of how the Abbey's reputation has spread in the world. Venerable set up the Abbey in such a thoughtful way so that if you look around, every aspect of this of the buildings, of the grounds, the way things are set up, all of it is to remind us to cultivate the Dharma in our own minds. But an abbess without disciples doesn't go very far. And so I wanted to remind them of the blood, sweat, and tears of the nuns who were here in the early years. Because without them, this Abbey wouldn't have followed the shape that it's grown into today. They not only tamed the knapweed on the property, which is no small feat, but they led the early retreats and the sharing the Dharma days. They participated in so many of these offering service Saturdays and gave talks at North Idaho College and helped establish all the systems that we can take for granted here at the Abbey, setting things up and setting the policies, setting up the infrastructure. They established important relationships with our donors. And so again, we have, like many of you who support the Abbey and have for many years, they've built up those relationships out in the world. And many of those early nuns began giving the first BBCs. They were much shorter than they are today, but nonetheless packed a punch. And they set up the safe courses so that many people can participate in learning the Dharma as it's presented here at the Abbey. Also, they set up the prison project. They set up the YouTube channel and populated that. They began teaching at UU Church in Spokane, which has become a template for many of the programs that we run here. So in this day and age, everyone wants to go out and make a name for themselves and, wants to thump their chest a little bit and say, I am so good, or whatever the case may be. But as Buddhist nuns, we train to recognize our interdependence with all beings, and also recognizing how many causes and conditions have come together for us to enjoy even one simple thing. If we reflect for even a few moments about all the people involved in bringing our meal together today, there would be hundreds of thousands of people that we could trace back. And so it's important that we take time to do those meditations and reflections and build up that heart of gratitude. This awareness keeps us humble, it keeps us grateful, it keeps us wanting to repay the kindness of so many who have made it possible for us to flourish here a lone monastic abbey in the West. And so as more and more of the community are going out to share the Dharma, we are accustomed to putting ourselves forward. But I remember learning at my full ordination in Taiwan, they kept repeating this one phrase that really stuck in my mind, and that was, let your virtue push you forward, rather than some thought of, I am and I can do it and I'll show everyone what I've got inside of me. A better way to do it, maybe, is to cultivate virtue and really cultivate the Dharma in our own hearts. And then naturally, those next steps become very obvious, and we get pushed forward into the next rung of responsibilities rather than trying to grasp it prematurely. And so we come back to cultivating a virtuous motivation so that whatever we do, like we're doing here today in the offering service Saturday, everything that we do is founded on an ethical and a compassionate motivation. Ideally, nothing that we do here at the Abbey or nothing that we do going out into the world to represent the Abbey becomes a cause for more ego. That would be a sad thing. But rather it becomes more of a cause for developing that firm foundation for the next people who will follow and will make their statement out in the world representing the Abbey. So I don't know that they'll watch this video before they give their presentations, but it was just something that was very alive for me the day that they left, and maybe it has some meaning.